Hey everybody, welcome to Studio 64. My name's David. I've been searching the interzones for more science, space and tech news to share with you. And I came across this over at Yahoo Finance. Yes, Boeing's $6 billion spacecraft is stranded in space. Meanwhile, SpaceX's much cheaper version works perfectly since 2020. Good old Boeing Star Lemon. Absolutely fascinating. Yes. And there's the good old Star Lemon. Yes. Boeing's Star Lemon spacecraft intended to transport astronauts to and from the International Space Station has been stuck in space for the last month due to a series of technical issues, also known as it's a piece of crap. Yes. The Star Lemon was supposed to bring two NASA astronauts, Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams, back to Earth on June the 14th, but helium leaks and overheating thrusters have delayed their return. Yes, the helium leaks, they managed to get those to stop because all the helium leaked out. Fascinating. Now, since its inception, the Star Lemon program has cost Boeing a staggering $5.8 billion, more than SpaceX spent on its successful Crew Dragon program. Now, according to Ars Technica, Boeing announced another $125 million loss on the Star Lemon program, bringing their total losses to $1.6 billion since the project began. That's why the costs are so high. Boeing and NASA signed a $4.2 billion fixed-price contract over a decade ago, which means Boeing is responsible for any additional costs due to delays or technical issues. Boeing initially promised the Star Lemon would be ready by 2017, but the first crewed mission only launched in June of 2024. Yes, delays and ongoing technical problems have resulted in considerable financial strain on the company. Quality control issues have impaired Boeing's performance, not just in space, but also in its other ventures, like the 737 MAX passenger plane. As usual, I'll leave the links to the main article below the video, so you can pop in, check out the embedded links, go for a bit of a deeper dive if you want. Makes a very interesting read beyond the main article, believe me. It's, it's back to DEI again, and everyone says, what have you got against diversity, equity and inclusion, David? And I said, you're not picking the right people for the job. You're sacking all the 50-year-old white men who have 30 years experience. You know what I mean? And I said, it's insane. You've got to teach the young ones how to do it. And you get the older guys like me to actually say, well, I've had 20, 30 years experience. Let me help you, And if I'm hiring people in Boeing, I don't care if you're a blue-haired weirdo that identifies as a bisexual wombat on Thursdays. Are you an engineer? An aerospace engineer? Then you're hired. If you want to celebrate diversity, I'm happy to call you my friend and we'll go out and have a drink on the weekends to celebrate it. But keep it out of work. That's it. No room for politics. And people go, David, you big, fat, bigoted son of a bitch. You can't say things like that. You'll hurt people's feelings. I'm more worried about the feelings of the Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams. Or is it Butch? Where is it? Yeah, Butch Wilmore, and Sonny Williams. I'm not worried about feelings being hurt. I'm worried about their bottoms being hurt when they burn up in the damn atmosphere. Because of the bloody Star Lemon and its bloody DEI. Fascinating. Delays and ongoing technical problems. Yes, SpaceX's Crew Dragon, a smooth journey. Now, in contrast, SpaceX's Crew Dragon has been flying astronauts without major issues since 2020. NASA awarded SpaceX a $3.1 billion contract to develop the Crew Dragon, less than half the amount given to Boeing. Now, isn't it interesting? Everyone criticizes Elon Musk and SpaceX, but let me tell you something. Look at what has happened with Twitter. Constantly told it would never work and it was dying. Twitter's alive and well, with 80% less staff. And in Elon Musk's own words, well, how can you operate, when he was asked, how do you operate Twitter when you've dropped 80% of the staff? And according to Elon Musk, if you're not too concerned with being an activist organization and wanting to be a complete 1984 censorship machine, surprising how well you can operate with just 20% of the staff. Fascinating, isn't it? Yeah, interesting indeed. Despite this, SpaceX has completed 9 crewed missions for NASA and secured an extension for 6 more flights. Plus, they're constantly resupplying the space station. Interesting. NASA initially wanted 2 companies to develop spacecraft for astronaut missions to ensure reliability and safety. While SpaceX has delivered on its promises, Boeing is still working to overcome its technical challenges. Yeah, it looks like they're going to have to get Uncle Elon to go and get these astronauts. They'll be stuck up there with the way the mission rotation is now until early 2025. And what's absolutely, would be absolutely hilarious is if they had to go cap in American NASA via the American government via NASA would have to go to Putin and say, can you come and get the astronauts in a Soyuz capsule? Chuckle. Yes, naughty boy David. Despite all of these issues, NASA still has hope that Boeing can fix the problems with the Star Lemon and become a viable option for future space missions. Boeing plans to address the helium leaks and overheating thrusters to prepare for regular 6 months expeditions to the ISS, with the first operational mission expected in February 2025, so they can get the astronauts back again. Oh, Lord. The ISS, the International Space Station. Every time a supply run goes up, they have to fix the space toilet. Yeah, the urine recycling system apparently is completely stuffed and they've got to keep fixing it. So that's why I reckon the ISS should be spelt with a silent P. Fascinating. God, you're a juvenile person, David. Sometimes you really are. As Star Lemon program manager Mark Nappy said in a recent update, the crew's feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, and they know that every bit of learning we do on the crew flight test will improve and sharpen our experience for future crews. Yeah. Words. Get them home, for God's sake. Leadership changes and future outlook. Yes, Boeing has announced a change in leadership, with Kelly Ortberg taking over as CEO. He will replace Dave Calhoun, who faced criticism over scandals related to the 737 MAX aeroplane. Ortberg's experience in the aerospace industry might be the fresh start. Boeing needs to steer the Star Lemon program back on track. Yeah, with Dave Calhoun. All right, don't know the man, but typical CEO of a very large, powerful organisation. You know, he steps down, but are there really any consequences? He'll get a nice golden parachute, as these things do, as in like Pfizer in 2012, where the CEO of Pfizer, I think it was, he reduced the profits of Pfizer by 50%. The pharmaceutical company, 50%. Shareholders weren't too happy with him, so he got the boot, and his golden parachute payout package thing was $180 million US. On the way out the door, they said, "Oi, get back here. Here's another $20 million in shares," because the shareholders are so happy you've gone, the share price went up. I'm telling you, you work your day job. If you're $2 short in the goddamn till, you know, if the bloody register's $2 short, you get fired. And these guys, they get away with millions of dollars in a payout. Like it's like the bloody Secret Service woman Cheadle, you know, over the Donald Trump assassination attempt. Yeah, she resigned. Yeah, she'll get a golden parachute, guarantee it. Massive amount of money. Any repercussions other than that, she'll go on to another job. Absolutely, you know, mind-blowing, isn't it? Well, there's a little bit of an update here. Let's have a look on the new CEO of Boeing.
Let's take a look at shares of Boeing here. We're watching that stock. It's up just about 0.5%. CEO Kelly Ortberg taking the helm. His first day is today. He wrote an email to employees, and in that memo, Ortberg telling staff that the company has, quote, a lot of work to do to restore trust. And I think that puts it lightly. A couple of things that stuck out to me within this memo was the fact that he went on to say, "I will be transparent with you every step of the way, sharing news on progress, as well as where we must do things better." Also saying, "We clearly have a lot of work to do in restoring that trust." And he's confident that working together, we will return the company to the industry leader that we all expect. He's expected to tour the main factory floor near Seattle today on his first day. He's also planning, I believe, to relocate to the city, to Seattle. Seattle, which we know is at the heart of Boeing's activities here, in order to try and kind of recoup some of the lost trust there when you talk about the manufacturing, what exactly takes place in Seattle. So he's reaffirming his commitment to that city. He's laying out his plan for the company going forward. And I think at this point, investors have been encouraged. We're encouraged. You saw that from the share price reaction once Kelly Ortberg was named as the new CEO. And now, obviously, he's facing a tremendous amount of pressure to right the ship and do it quickly.
Yeah, I mean, when you're on I-5, you can't miss Boeing's manufacturing operations. They used to do tours over there in Seattle, too. I hope they started to bring that back. It was kind of a COVID thing that forced them to kind of shut that down. But this, of course, the first day where it's really going to be a larger question of how much can the corporate culture under a new leader change, and a new leader that's going to have to steer in a Spirit Aerosystems as well as part of being able to kind of bring even more control to the operations and the manufacturing procedures here.
Well, that was an interesting little update, wasn't it? Yeah. As I say, it'd be very interesting to see how Boeing heads in the future with this new Kelly, the new CEO. And I'm just hoping that he does a better job than the previous guy. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? As I said, they've got to get past this identity politics stuff. How about identifying as human? Identify as a human being, and it doesn't matter after that. You know what I mean? Like it's to me, identify as a human being, be an aerospace engineer, and then whatever you want to do after that, it's perfectly fine as long as it doesn't affect people's lives. That's all I ask. Fascinating, isn't it? All right, well, my name is David. Thanks for joining me for another Studio 64 Science, Space and Tech News update. I shall see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're up for it, drop a comment down below the video because I'd love to hear what you think. All right, take care, and as I always say, if you can't be good at it. And as I also always say,
please, Spock, do me a favor, and don't say it's fascinating. No. But it is interesting.